I have not been able to get away on a long voyage yet, so in the meantime this video is bits and pieces going back a year or so till present. We look at Orca Navigation. Lots of day sailing and fishing around Suva, Fiji, a sailing trip to the western side of Fiji to haul out, plus a little bit of maintenance and more. I've been doing lots of day sailing trips out of Suva. I always tow fishing lines. Starting with hand lines, I bent hooks.
So this time I bent the hook. This is the third time this has happened. These hooks aren't strong enough. It's going to be a real monster.
Broke lines and bungees and lost several big fish and caught a couple. Before getting 2 trolling rods. That helped because the load on the hand line is high with large fish plus sailing at 8 knots. I even dragged this back. It was too heavy to lift. Nothing is wasted in Fiji, even the head is eaten. The fishing isn't always great here. I could go out 6 to 10 times and get nothing, but I'm out for the sailing and getting the fish is a bonus.
Alright, we've got a fish!
My routine when catching a fish is first furl the head sail to slow down. I can regulate the boat speed by turning the rudder to depower the mainsail. Fiji is a fantastic place to own a sailing boat. There are so many islands and places to go. These are the islands north of Kadavu, an easy 40-mile day sail south of Suva. Met up with several friends on their boats from Suva for a couple of days. Orca Navigation sent me this package to try out. This is the Orca Core. It has a built-in GPS and compass. And this is the Orca tablet. Super bright screen and water resistant. I'm going to put the Orca Core here. I'm going to drill a hole in here. It doesn't have to be a big hole, only this size. There, and it gets fitted in this way. So I think this is a good spot. It's 1 metre above, right in the middle of the boat. It's more than a metre away from the compass. Measure that. 1 metre. It's 1 metre exactly away from the compass, but it's kind of a little bit behind the aluminium here, I think. Anyway, it's going there. Anyway, it is what it is. So yeah, this is the spot. And ran an NMNA 2000 cable to the backbone. This piece here, I'm going to add this in here, and this is where the Orca core will connect to. Once the Orca core has been connected, everything on here will be available to the Orca core and the Orca program. So very good system. It's all compatible, which is great to see. Okay, this is the Orca tablet. Pretty cool. It's got all the information up there. It all connects up to the same instruments that the B&G has, the wind and the speed and you name it. It's all connected up here into this Orca tablet. It runs with Wi-Fi. It has AIS. It's actually, I've actually found that this Orca tablet works better when it's connected to the internet, and then you have AIS. I'm really happy that they sent me out one to try out, and I've been using it a bit. It's taken a while for me to get used to it, and I'm still learning it actually. Okay, we're sailing. Not sure what's happened here. It should be showing breadcrumbs. Oh, here we go, the breadcrumbs there. So this is showing the course that I've done, and as you can see, well, I left from Suva. I'm here now. I'm heading around to there. Here we go. We've got the course over ground. We've got our speed. We've got our rudder indicator and our speed over ground with the water, which is probably a little bit wrong, but anyway. And then you have your wind. Now you can operate your autopilot with this as well. So it's a really good bit of kit. It's all connected in. Anything goes wrong with my ZS3, I've got this as a super duper good backup, and that's always good to have as backups. And once they get all the charts with Fiji, I'll be able to use it more, because right now I just got one little section of chart here, a little bit, you know, half this island is got chart, and then around Suva there's no chart, a little bit chart there, you know. So I'm kind of waiting for them to get the rest of the charts, and then this will be super. I got a sock for the 3/4 asymmetrical spinnaker. Setting it and dousing it on my own is manageable. I'll have to film the setting and taking down another time. Okay, another little surprise. The video I did about slipping the boat, I had that re-welded up in the bow there, but silly me, didn't look properly, and I found this stringer here has also got some problems. It's got 3 cracks in it, and a little tiny weeping from this butt joint here, just maybe a drop every few seconds or so, but it adds up. So there we can see, and if you look in here carefully, you can see there's a little crack. Get the light in there. There's a little crack there. It's one crack. And then over here, there's a bigger crack. And it's buckled the string a little bit. And then there's a 3rd crack up here. This light's absolute rubbish. Rubbish light. Don't ever buy one of these. And then there's the third crack. So I've got a welder coming down. He's going to try and weld these in position. I think he should be able to do it. He's going to use a TIG welder.
Nice weld. Yeah, I'm just making more of a mess than I am a good.
Okay.
Alright.
I was lucky. I had Andy here, and he did a really good job. Very difficult to do because you really can't see in there when you're welding. When you've got the helmet on, it makes it very difficult. But he did a great job, and I'm really happy. Now the little tiny leak, there's a little tiny leak in here. He said no, don't weld that because it could make it worse. It's just a smidgen of water in there, and that's going to contaminate the weld. So that boat needs to be out of the water to do that. So in the meantime, I'm going to put some epoxy in there to stop the leak. And you know, I can't take the boat out of the water to do that because it's, you know, it's only been 4 months in the water. It's too expensive. I'm going to do a freshwater flush because I've been looking online about this engine, the Volvo D240, and a lot of people complaining on forums about two things. One is a black box, electronic box, seem to fail quite regularly. And the other one is the heat exchanger and the exhaust elbow, corrosion inside, and it also fails. So if I give the engine a freshwater flush after I've used it, I think that should prolong the heat exchanger. Sailing from Suva to Nadi is a little over 100 nautical miles. I want to see if I could day sail that distance. I passed the Suva Reef entrance at 6 AM. Got the helmet in. Help it around a bit. There you go. Doesn't take much. Very small adjustments on the wheel. Far. And the Suva, going through there, through the Spinger passage. And we have to go around there. Okay, so steerer. Two reefs. Don't really need to take the reef out. I know the wind's going to pick up. Just have to get out of the lee of that island. It's 17 knots of wind now. And we're doing not a bad speed. We're close to 8 knots. So moving along. Jibing the mainsail and swapping the running back stays, keeping tension on them during the jibe. The head sail is furled, so it's not necessary to do it this way. It's more of an exercise for me to do it for the first time.
over here because I went down right at the back of the boat to check the autopilot, and I found that the quadrant was a little bit loose. The bolts had come undone, so I tightened them up, and the rudder indicator somehow went out of whack. It's very sensitive, so it's locked over one side, so that's the reason why I can't use the autopilot, and I can't do it until I recalibrate it, and that will be when I get into the bay. Bloody pain in the ass. It's good strong wind. 33 knots. O'clock in the morning, and had a really fast sail along here through this passage here in between the island, and you can see here this is the track. It's already been erased. This is just stupid of B&G. They can't even make a track go for 100 miles. Anyway, I went out here and on one, and then I jibed. Probably jibed a bit late, added quite a lot of miles to the trip doing that. As a result, I decided to come into this little bay here, and I'm anchored up here now. And tomorrow I'll just take the boat around. It's about 15 miles. I don't need to be there before midday. So yeah, this is a nice little bay. Pretty cool. 30 knots out there, nothing in here. Nice spot.
Haphazard came out of the water and no barnacles. Perfect. This propeller's only got like 500 hours on it, on the engine, and the whole bushing inside that hub is worn out, needs replacing. Not good. It's going to be expensive, either to buy a new one or to send this part here to Australia and get it rebushed, which is probably cheaper and probably the option that I'm going to do. So it will all have to be done with a scuba tank back at Suva, because it takes too long now and I've got to get back in the water. They hoisted me up and I've been sitting in the slings for about 2 hours, and I painted the patches where the stands were that held the boat up. Normally what I do is we move the stands and then paint and then that sort of thing, but these guys do it this way, so we're giving it a try. See how it goes. It's pretty damn good drying weather. It's really hot. I hauled out at Denerau Marina in Nadi. It's a good location to haul out and everything went well. Best part is going back in the water, and I went back in at 5 p.m. and left for Suva. Going through the reef entrance after sunset. It was slow sailing directly upwind in 9 to 12 knots.
Whoa. Look, we just jumped on the deck.
I managed to get a good sized yellowfin tuna. And I struggled to lift it. This is my favourite eating fish.
So I came out from here, I came out in this angle here, threw a tack in, caught the fish here, and then went into this, and then tried to get around here. I had to tack again, and then I managed to scrape down the edge of that reef and into Suva. And then you can see on the trip calculator it's 24 hours, average speed was 5.8, kind of slow, and I did 143 miles. I checked everything. I can't seem to have could find the problem electrically, so I've had to call for help. With the keel down, the draft is 3.3 meters, so I couldn't get into the yacht club, so I stayed on the mooring for the night. So until next time, happy sailing.